Alright, today's video is a little bit different than what we normally do. Normally it's a little bit more like a vlog, or we show you something that we've been working on or that we're going to work on or something like that, something we're putting together. Today though, we wanted to talk about kind of our, I guess you'd call it our farm worldview, and how that has changed, I'd say probably
last 6 months, maybe?
Yeah, maybe even shorter than that, I'd say. Maybe even the last 3 or 4 months.
So when we originally started this journey, our main goal was to have a for-profit enterprise here on the farm that would act as a second job for Sam to help supplement what he makes at the church. And I would say that the longer we've been out here, the more that we've realized that if we want to be together as a family and be really involved in our children's lives, it's less about how much money that we make, but a lot more about how much we're spending and what we're doing to provide things for ourselves that don't cause us to have to go out and spend $1 for somebody else to do it for us.
Yeah, I mean, when we were originally looking at the farm, I wanted more land, because we wanted to, make it a small farm. I'm more into the animals, and we don't have those yet. Hopefully, coming this spring, we will, once our house in town sells. But originally, we wanted, to raise the chickens for me, have cows, goats, pigs, rabbits, the whole 9 yards, and raise those for people and sell them for meat, and maybe garden a little bit on the side too. But that was kind of the whole goal, is to start out small, raise some for ourselves, and sell some to friends, or give some to friends, and then eventually grow it into a business where we kind of had, we could make a little bit of money on the side from church. But like Laura said, we've kind of had a mind change from having wanting an income-based farm to having more of a homestead, and trying to provide more for ourselves and not rely on other people to provide it, and then paying a premium price for that.
We really want to be able to focus on being a primary influence, I guess, in our children's lives, and being able to be together as a family and not be somewhere where one or both parents are gone, 60 or 80 hours a week working outside the home to make money, so that we can then turn around and pay somebody to provide us with services that we could be providing ourselves, whether that's growing our own food or learning how to fix things ourselves, or even learning how to do without some things that, modern life tells you that you have to need to survive, which you really don't. It's just convenient.
And I don't know, I'm not sure if this is something, I've prayed a lot about this, but something that's always kind of bothered me in working for the church. I feel like working for the church, or maybe any kind of nonprofit, your goal isn't money. It's more about the service, and more about, for the church, it's more about the relationships and pointing people towards God. So for me, it's working for the church. It's not about money. That being said, I've always felt like, and I feel like the world is kind of like this too. It's like you're not, you can't be a successful man for me, and providing for my family, unless I make so much money and my family has so much stuff. Unless I can provide, the cable TV and we all have new cars, then I'm not making enough money. I'm not providing for my family. And maybe people don't feel that way, but I have. And so for me, the thing was, like, I wasn't providing for my family unless I was making $50,000 or $60,000 a year. And working for a church, especially in a smaller community, $50,000 or $60,000 isn't going to happen, even full time. And let me say that the church that I do work for, I think they do an incredible job with my salary. I think it's probably, don't tell them this, but it's probably too much for the size church they are. We feel very blessed, and they take great care of us. But it falls short of that $50,000 or $60,000. So me personally, I've always felt like I wasn't quite providing for my family or taking care of them like maybe I thought I should. Which has made me realize, though, and kind of switched my mentality about how I provide for my family. And that there are things that I can do here on our homestead that it's not providing money, but it's still providing for them mostly just through manual labor. It's mostly just through work and trying to be organized. A really good example is right behind us, there up above, there's a stovepipe. And hopefully sometime soon we'll have a wood stove that we'd like to heat the house with and possibly cook on, at least a little bit right now. So for us, once we get that wood stove, if I can work hard at chopping the wood, seasoning the wood, and then using that for winter into spring and heating the house with that, that's going to keep us from having to spend $300 or $400 filling our propane tank, for the winter, because it's a big house and it goes through the propane. So for me, that's one way that I can provide for my family that's not having to make all this money. I don't feel stressed about that. I don't have to have my church job and then try and find 2 or 3 other side jobs to really make money. I think now that we are looking more at homesteading, I think we have a goal that sometime in the future we can make, we still want to make some money off of our homestead. Like we'd still like to eventually sell some meat, chickens, and eggs, and once we get either goats or a cow, sell some milk too. It's not going to be a lot though. But we do want to sell some of that. Hey, what's the problem? What's the problem? Am I talking too much? We still want to, what I would like to do, and a goal for our family is to eventually just live off of that income, and then maybe the church's income I don't need as much, or we can donate that back to church, and I can work more on like a volunteer basis. I would love to be able to give back to my church in that way. And I think it's very possible living a homesteading life. You still have to have some cash coming in, I think.
You can't buy gas to your car with chickens. I mean, there's certain things in the community that you do need that you have to have cash for. So I think we'll always have to have some sort of income, but the idea is that we don't need to have a huge income to feel like we're just, surviving month to month.
So that's kind of our goals. Our mindset has changed a little bit in the last few months from trying to eventually farm for profit to doing more of a homesteading focus, trying to live frugally, and providing more for ourselves. So thanks for watching today. Don't forget to like, comment. If you're on Facebook, share. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. And don't forget to check out the Facebook page and the Instagram and Laura's blog. We got all kinds of stuff going, so don't forget to check on that stuff. Thanks for watching.